Are you ready to make an offer on your dream home? Well, let's dive into crafting the perfect offer and perfect contract. Well, hello, my name is Kevin Brierton, certified mortgage planning specialist with Neo Home Loans and the Kevin Brierton team. And I'm going to guide you through some essential things you'll need to know to craft a winning offer and a winning contract. So you might think, hey, Kevin's a lender. What is he talking about contracts? Well, here's the thing. We see hundreds and hundreds a year come across our desk, hundreds of contracts, and we see contracts that work really well. Sometimes they're lacking information. It's important to know how to structure them right. And in this exciting journey of buying a house, especially in maybe markets we've seen over the last couple of years, really any market, it's really crucial to consider more than just the price tag. So think about potential expenses down the road as you look into this. Things like a new roof, maybe HVAC, heating and air. We've seen situations where walls are possibly falling down on the back wall, the outside of the backyard. Look at everything and don't forget the property taxes, and if it's in a flood zone or flood insurance, hurricane insurance in some areas, or earthquake insurance. It's all about understanding the total cost that goes into the house. This is something that can help you become a successful homeowner long-term, but don't let it scare you, because whether you're renting or buying, you're going to pay these costs one way or the other. Renters just feel warm and fuzzy because they pay one payment, which is rent, hopefully insurance for renter's insurance, but they don't understand that all of it's built in somewhere. Now, so let's get to signing. So the contract. Before you actually sign the contract, though, there's some crucial things you need to know about. And one of it is the property taxes, especially if you're buying new construction that doesn't have current tax history. This can vary how you qualify. It can vary depending on how the lenders are calculating this. But generally speaking, it's around 1%. Some areas are higher or lower. You can actually check your local assessor's website, property tax assessor's website for the county. There's also a website we'll put on the screen here that you can go to too. But it's important to understand what that number is and be aware with taxes. If the lender is qualifying you with a really low tax amount, start asking a little questions, especially on new builds, because that could be a surprise and you do not want that to jump up and be a big surprise. Now, energy efficiency is another key. Request the seller's past 12 months of utilities. We're in Arizona, and this could really be a game changer. If you have an unexpensed bill where the bill is a lot higher in utilities. So just be prepared for that. It's really not mandatory that the seller provides it, but in the offer, if you ask for it in the offer, then you can help, request that up front. Most sellers will probably play nice and get it to you, but it is something that it's not a bad idea to get. During the inspection period, though, for your purchase contract, it's really important to get a really well done inspection done. I recommend going through the realtor you're working with and using their inspector, because they generally are going to give you great advice and it's a trusted advisor. You can find your own inspector, and it's completely up to you. It should be your decision. But at the end of the day, it's important to get an inspection and understand they're going to go through like the HVAC system, which is heating and air, electrical, plumbing, roofing. And their job is to literally tell you everything that's wrong with the house. And then your job is to go back and say, okay, is this something that I need to deal with or not deal with? Is this something I need to ask the seller to fix or give us a credit for or not? And something I recommend is never send it to your lender. We know what's going on, but it's something that is outside of the lending scenario, because we're going to see everything we need on the appraisal, which we'll talk about. So once you get through this inspection period, you're going to ask for things to be corrected. And they're either going to say yes or no. You're going to agree on the terms and move on. Sometimes that means you back out of the deal. We recently had a family where they backed out of the deal because their house just wasn't the right fit. They ended up finding an amazing house and closed on, and they were super happy with it. So don't feel like you need to buy a house just because you have a lot of time invested, or maybe your realtor or lender has a lot of time invested. You're going to be there for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. The lender and the realtor you're working with should be more, invested in you long-term, not just for the next 30 days, but really for the next 30 years. Super important. And other crucial items, of a contract could include like your closing date. So make sure you coordinate with the lender and coordinate with the timelines and what to expect. We recommend around 30 days, at least here in Arizona. Some states are longer, some days are shorter. 30 days is kind of a sweet spot to get everything done, like the home inspection, appraisal, and all these things. But some lenders, quickest we ever closed was 8 days. So you definitely can close earlier, but you need to have everything ready to be able to do that. And you got to have a lender that's on point with everything, and underwriters and everybody ready to go. You also can negotiate your your settlement agent, which is like the title company and attorney. This is important because it's a negotiating piece. Usually the buyer's agent's gonna identify who they want to use, which is usually the best way to start out the contract. And you can use it as a point of negotiation. So hey, if the seller will give you what you want, maybe you give them their title agent. That's a good way. And you also may run into financing contingency dates where it's verifying your lender's ability to commit to the loan without the conditions on it and what the time frame is. So you want to be aware of if there's a finance contingency, and if your financing fell out, you could jeopardize your earnest money, or you always want to talk to your realtor and the broker about it. So be aware of any financial contingency dates, and also realtor details. Make sure your agent collaborates with a listing agent for all the necessary property related information. So make sure both your realtor contact and everything's right. Also, and they'll hopefully make sure that's right, but also the property details. Make sure the zip code's right. Make sure the information's right, and do the due diligence there. And then closing cost contribution. Understanding the extent or the ability of closing cost contributions for a specific program. Now, programs can differ because you might be able to get 2% on one program from the seller, and that's money towards closing costs or towards buying down the interest rate or towards setting up, could even pay your tax and insurance. But some programs are up to 6%. So it depends on the program. It's really, really important that you talk to your lender about it ahead of time, that you may have to adjust it, or you may be leaving money on the table. So closing costs is a cool way to do where you can possibly get a lower rate. We just helped somebody buy out mortgage insurance where we had the seller pay for it, saved her over $200 a month, and that actually got her in her payment range that she was comfortable with moving forward. So some great ideas to use for closing costs, and if you're strategic with it, it can end up getting a really much better deal than if you don't look at those options. I'll give you one tip on that. Sometimes it's better to go with a little higher price and get the seller to contribute closing costs to your deal than going with a lower price. We actually do a side-by-side comparison, and to do that, we can always do that for you through a mortgage strategy call. So if you go to mortgagestrategycall.com, that'll actually allow us to build a plan for you, schedule a call. And the call really is there to help discover what your needs are, answer your questions, and just kind of figure out the next steps. We don't have to pull credit on the call. It's just allowing us to build the plan and figure out the next steps and answer that. So as we kind of land the plane here, now you're armed with inspection, clear understanding of all costs. This will help you be more prepared for a confident offer to ensure you close on time, you meet your agreed upon dates, and have a smooth process. Our process for this is we do an offer call, so offer strategy call. And so once we're pre-approving a family already, and we've already met with them, we will offer an offer strategy call where we can talk and go over prices, seller credit, offer strategy. So whatever your lender you're working with, they should be open-minded to doing an offer strategy call with you before you're making an offer, to make sure it's set up right, make sure the timelines, the seller credits, and pricing's in line. And that allows you to work together to make your offer stand out, not just on the price you're offering, but the overall deal. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Kevin Brierton, certified mortgage planning specialist, here to help you navigate the home buying journey. So connect with me below, and you can go to mortgagestrategycall.com to schedule a mortgage strategy call. We also have a ton of information on there and videos. And thanks so much for watching. If you like this video or want to share it with any friends, we'd be honored if you pass this along. And go ahead and comment with any questions below, and we'll join in the conversation. Thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.